Good morning, everyone. This is Brian Smith, publisher of Inside the Knights. You can see my website scrolling across the bottom here. Going to discuss Divaad Wilson, the cornerback turned safety, potential nickelback, whatever you want to call him for the UCF Knights. Now, for this exercise, I'm going to focus on just a couple of things and primarily talk about a potential role as a nickel because there's a couple of different teams, and I mentioned this in the article, that I think will be very difficult to defend for any team, UCF or otherwise, and the nickelback could be a very important role. This is one where Wilson is going to possibly play, and whether it's him or not, it's something to try and understand. So just follow along here. Here's the key thing with Wilson. He was a big-time player coming out of Miami Northwestern, played cornerback, went to Georgia at 18, redshirted, then he started some in 2019, played pretty well, even started against Kentucky and Notre Dame and had a pick against the Irish. He's versatile, though. He's moved to safety with UCF now that he's transferred. So which skill is going to be best for him and for the Knights during the season? Well, just like I say within the article, it depends on the opponent. The two schools that I'm most concerned about schematically and how they do things would actually be Louisville and Navy. Now, you're probably thinking, Navy, what do you mean? Unless you're somebody that played football a lot or understand the triple option, no team wants to play Navy because preparing for them is horrific, absolutely horrific. I'll start with them because the triple option is all about eye discipline and everybody doing exactly what they should and not really playing free and fast, which is what most defenses want. It is 100% assignment football. So an experienced player like Wilson, who's played corner and safety, could help out. Travis Williams, the defensive coordinator for the Knights, when they played LSU when he was at Auburn in 2019, employed a very unique 3-1-7 defense, literally, against LSU's spread passing attack. He'll come up with different things. They did really good in that situation of making it difficult for Joe Burrow and them to pass. Well, this is the same kind of thing, but it's the run. So nickel is very difficult because you can have guys in front of you all different sizes, and Navy is very complex with what they run formationally, and the nickel is the corner that's in between the outside linebacker and the perimeter corner in a formation. It's usually to the strong side of the field, although not always. I think Wilson will play this against Navy and or Louisville for the following reason: experience, strength, his size and his length, but his ability to read keys. If you get burned at that spot, because Navy will take a couple of shots, they're going to run it 90-95% of the time. They'll take a couple of shots in the passing game. If Wilson is not, or the cornerback that's playing that slot position or the safety, whatever it may be, is not disciplined, it's a problem. You can give up touchdowns. You can get beat by Navy and get beat badly if your team is not mentally prepared. This is not something that's going to be difficult for the UCF coaching staff to understand, but trying to convince 18 to 22-year-olds that Navy is a threat is not an easy task. That's probably the biggest hurdle. And that's why Wilson, as well as any other player, maybe it's another one of the guys that maybe Thornton that moves over, it's so complex that it's going to be difficult to find that guy in just 1 week. I think they'll actually prepare for Navy a little bit earlier. That, they're not going to talk about it during the season. During fall camp, there's probably going to be a little bit of discussion about the triple option. A lot of teams do that. I know some college football teams even prepare literally every single week during the season. They'll take 15 minutes if they're playing Army, Navy, Air Force and prepare for the triple option. That's how big a pain that offense is for a defense because there's nothing else like it. And it's really the only way the service academies can compete because one-on-one, just playing a traditional power offense, et cetera, they get murdered. And they know it. So they run the triple option. The other team that I think he could be very serviceable against as a nickel would be Louisville. Now, think about the option that Navy utilizes. They do different things similar to that, but out of a spread formation. And I found a couple of different video clips, and I was looking at things, and actually one of them that I found that was unique was in 2012 when Michigan played at Notre Dame. Notre Dame blitzed their corners quite a bit to try and stop Denard Robinson, who's obviously an electric athlete. He went by the name Shoelaces. That was his nickname because he didn't tie his shoes, but he was very fast. and they had to throw different things at him to try to make him think and try to throw off the blocking schemes, because once he gets going and get in space, it's a problem. Well, Cunningham, the quarterback for Louisville, while not Denard Robinson, is still an adept runner. If you keep him in the pocket and make him think and not let him get outside the tackle box, he's probably less of a threat overall. Again, he's not Denard Robinson, but blitzing's important. And here's the other part that he has an advantage with. Louisville's scheme is very complex in terms of running motions, jet sweeps, and trying to show eye candy. The quarterback will turn his back to the line of scrimmage, act like he's going to hand off, keep it in and roll. You don't know who has the ball. It's the same concept as with Navy. This is very, very difficult to prepare for because, again, assignment football. Defensive coaches want to send their guys towards the ball and attack. And that's fine 90% of the time. Against Louisville, that can be very, very difficult to do and be successful because you can get beat over the top. Cunningham is a very willing runner, but he's also a guy that's got the arm strength to make you pay down the field. Wilson could play corner in this position. He could be a blitzer. He could take on one of their slot receivers. He's going to be physical enough against the run because Louisville does have a very good zone run offense. They run outside zone well. I think that's something that he would do well against any team, but a team like Louisville is very, very important. So with that in mind, Divaad Wilson, this is a very important player for UCF this fall, and the Knights need him not only at safety,